Hey, how's it going? My name is Idea Unsound, and I wanted to share with you a cool music tool that I recently designed called POMSKI. POMSKI is a digital audio workstation, or DAW, that allows users to create music with Python code. I made this specifically to integrate with Ableton Live as well. So on top of being able to create MIDI notes with Python, it has Ableton Link, Ableton OSC, and ClyphX scripting language built in. So not only can it control any MIDI-enabled software or hardware, but if you're using Ableton Live, you can also create clips, edit devices, all that stuff directly from the code. This is an overview of what POMSKI looks like. So you see we have our editor window here in the center. This is where you're going to write your compositions or write your code and then execute things. You have 3 buffer pages available, which are just blank project pages by default. However, you can add as many as you want. Down at the bottom, we have our play button. So this will play or pause the MIDI playback. You can clear the editor, you can clear the log, which I'll talk about in a bit, and you can also record the output to a standard MIDI file. So if you've come up with something cool, you can just slap that button there and then it'll record for however many bars you set with the slider there. At the top of the screen, you have your tempo readout, as well as tap tempo, current bar counter, which you can reset to 1, the beat that you're on right now, a chord, which is actually being dictated by a harmony function that loads automatically. You can also change the harmony in the live code window whenever you want to, but there is a default harmony and key that is assigned. So if you want your music to kind of follow the structure of the harmony, it can do that by default. There's also Ableton Link button right there. So if you're using Ableton or any Ableton Link enabled devices, then you can toggle that button there and it should keep all of the tempos in order for you. So I mentioned the log earlier, which you can find here. If you execute a function like this, then you'll see what happens here in the log. And right now we're not hearing anything because I have it paused, but if I play it, it'll start playing the MIDI into Ableton. If you go over to the Signals tab, it shows you any sort of modulators you've created, so LFOs or any signal parameters. They'll appear here. The Patterns tab shows you any currently playing MIDI patterns. So if I play the pattern from earlier, I might have to, there we go. So you see the MIDI notes appear there in the Pattern tab. Got some crazy stuff already. If you go to your preferences, then you can see your Ableton Link settings there. So Link enabled, shows you how many peers you have, shows you if Ableton OSC is connected there. So my Ableton is connected. You can see all my tracks. Your MIDI assignment, so IO is here, as well as MIDI forwarding. If you want to use some more devices in the browser or forward over to more applications there. There's a light mode and dark mode toggle. If you're more of a dark mode person, then got you covered. And the last tab on the right here is a reference tab, which has all sorts of reference material, code snippets that explain the different algorithms and compositional techniques that are being used. So things such as spectral synthesis and interference and Brownian motion, Fibonacci sequences, all that stuff. You can just grab these snippets and just paste them into the editor, like so. And then run them by pressing Shift-Enter, just like that. And you see, we've got this cool pattern based on reaction diffusion. It just loads up like that. So I'll go ahead and stop that again. Okay. If that's not enough, I should also mention Ableton Live Control is at the bottom. So if you're curious about how to control Ableton in particular, that information is here at the bottom, as well as how to get data from API feeds in as compositional information as well. But if that is not enough, then if you scroll to the top of the reference tab, click on Open Full Tutorial, then there is a full tutorial section there showing you the Python concepts that are kind of necessary to understand the various functions that you can use, breakdown of the musical sequencing with MIDI, channels, etc., etc. So there's a lot of material to go off of to get started with, in case you are like me and not a programmer. Then ideally this will give you enough information to still be able to make interesting music with code. So the idea is that, like I mentioned, I'm not a programmer. I am somebody who's interested in technology and code and creating tools that can utilize these ideas to make music. However, I am not functionally a programmer. I am a composer and a music producer, though, so anything that I can use to make more interesting music is always interesting to me. So I wanted a way to use Python in particular to create music, because Python is a very easy and approachable language, all things considered, but also it has a whole lot of flexibility and power, but with what you can combine and utilize with it. So I wanted a way to use Python to control Ableton specifically. However, I couldn't find any good solutions for that had as many features as I wanted, so I just kind of created my own with Claude. So this is just an overview. I'll probably do more of these videos showing more abilities and kind of features of POMSKI, but this is just the first of many to kind of get you started. So hopefully it was helpful, and I'm excited to see what can get made with this and what kind of use cases come from this. So if you do use POMSKI or you're interested in it, please reach out to me, drop me a line, leave a comment somewhere. I'll definitely check it out. And yeah, stay tuned for more of these videos if it's interesting to you, and more compositions with POMSKI. So cheers in the meantime.